sezno. Industry standard doesn't really exist. Or should I say, wanting to be industry standard and like waiting to be at that level cannot be the thing that's preventing you from dropping your music or any art. I mean, I guess this isn't limited to music. Comparison is the thief of joy, as they say, especially for artists who are just inherently sensitive and analytical to excess. It is a universal experience for a DIY artist to, at a certain point, feel like my song doesn't sound the same way as this other song that I love. And it results in these thoughts like, is my song good enough to release? I don't think this holds up to the music that I am influenced by, which leads to this isn't good enough to drop. I guess I'll wait until something is more industry standard. It's a simplification, but I hope you know what I mean. It's weird. I do feel like we are in a period of history where the gatekeeping in music industry doesn't really have power anymore. It's the easiest it's ever been to like reach your audience authentically without very many resources. And yet we still do find ways to gatekeep ourselves. And I think this is one example. I have had periods over the years where I have had insecurity about whether or not I was doing things properly. And I had an assumption that there was a certain standard of production quality that was necessary for my music to be taken seriously. There's a struggle always between legitimacy and authenticity. Like, on the one hand, everybody wants their music to be authentic, or at least nobody wants their music to be inauthentic. But at the same time, artists feel a pressure for the presentation of their work and convince themselves that there is a certain standard of production quality to have artistic legitimacy in order for people to take it seriously, whatever that means. It happens all the time that the presentation of an artist's work, the packaging, is not at the same level as the ideas in that work, the content. But that is not a deal breaker for people to appreciate it as art. It doesn't make it devoid of any value. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, for instance, mixing doesn't matter, because that's not true exactly, but the flaws in your music are not necessarily flaws. They're idiosyncrasies. And the most important thing anyway is the transmission of your personality, of your energy, of your thing that is distinct from everyone else. The explicit objective is never to reach the industry standard, which is different for every genre and is changing all the time anyway. The people who are listening to your music, many of them have no frame of reference for how it could be improved. They just take it for what it is, especially early on if you haven't been doing this for a while. A YouTube video cannot truly teach you how to mix your music. A YouTube video also cannot give you a step-by-step tutorial on achieving your vision. And even if you were to follow those instructions exactly, there's no guarantee that it will hit. Hopefully you understand what I mean. You have your entire career to improve the production quality. But if you're taking it seriously and you're being honest with yourself about the work that you're doing, then the doing is really the thing that matters. Industry standard doesn't exist. Peace.